Travis Engel with Shell Shock MMA. We're here at the 303 Training Center in Westminster, Colorado. I'm joined by none other than a light heavyweight prospect in Colorado MMA. We got Brock Combs. How you doing, bud?
Yeah, doing pretty well.
Good, good. Now he's going to be fighting on the PFC 8 card at the Paramount Theater in Denver, Colorado. Give us your thoughts on not only a UFC veteran, but a guy that just had a victory at World Series of Fighting, Jared Hammond.
Yeah, you got to give respect where respect's due. You know, this guy stepped across the cage from some of the best in the world and can never take that away from him. However, you know, I don't think he's even stepped with anyone like me before. So it's going to be an exciting fight. It's definitely a good test for me, but I'm definitely training hard and I'm ready for it.
Anybody that follows the MMA world sport, you know, as far as being a true fan, knows that Jared has fought some of the toughest people in the world. You know, you don't fight in the UFC because, you know, you're an easy fighter, you're an easy target. No, you're tough. So it being Jared, you know, we have to come with the perfect game plan, perfect conditioning. I mean, if anybody's seen Jared fight, it's, you know, he's hard to finish, and a lot of times he fights and he wins because he can outlast the opponent. So as long as we come with a perfect game plan, our condition is good, I don't see a problem with us winning. I think it's going to be a huge step for Brock Combs after he gets the win. It's so tough to find him a fight here, so you know, I think the next step is to move up. You know, I don't see that this fight's going to set Brock back at all, whether come out win or lose. I mean, at the end of the day, once the gate closes, it's a 50-50 shot. You know, no matter what, you know, what kind of things you've done in preparation. But I think I'm excited. You know, I'm really excited for this fight. You know, being the second time I've helped Brock prepare, you know, as far as getting ready for a fight, and you know, he's an exciting fighter. He comes out with a bunch of, you know, enthusiasm and gets all wired up, gets the fans going. So we're looking to win this fight anyhow. You know, whether it's goes to the ground and pound, submission. It doesn't really matter. Standing up, we're gonna win this fight. You know, outpointing him, whatever it takes to win. I think it's going to be a great fight for Brock and his future. As far as males, I think he's one of the most promising guys that we have in this state right now. You know, as far as male fighters.
Now, obviously, your last couple of victories have been due to arm bars and stuff, and it's kind of a different arm bar. It's not the typical Ronda Rousey. It's more of the belly, you know, type of arm bar. Is it more of it because you can get more torque on it? What's kind of your game plan with that?
You know, I never go into any fight with a game plan. Every fight starts standing up. I go in there to strike. If I see an opportunity to take it to the ground, I'll take it. But I've just been presented with that opportunity in my last couple fights, so I've taken them.
Yeah. Now, see, a lot of people outside could be looking at this interview and they're thinking, oh, this kid's crazy. There's no way in hell he's going to be the UFC guy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But a lot of people that I've been talking about, even the promoters itself with PFC, is thinking that, oh, not only are you going to win, that you have a lot of promise in your future. What do you think about people that tell you that?
Well, you know, I'm humbled by everybody that wants to go and tell me that they think I'm going to win the fight and progress and be a great prospect. It's really humbling, and I'm really training hard to make that a reality. And for everybody who doubts me, don't bet against me. I'll tell you that.
Now, as far as your career going through, like I asked you before the interview, you went with heavyweight before your last amateur fight, and then with your pro fight was at even 200 pounds. Is your prospect as far as staying at the light heavyweight, you're basically just obligated to do whatever the promoters want, or is it just depends on what the promoters want and how you feel about it?
You know, I've had nothing but success at 205, so for right now I'm going to stick at 205. If it comes down later in my career that, you know, dropping to middleweight might be in my best interest, then, you know, we'll take that into consideration. But right now, I don't want to fix what's not broken. So with success at 205, that's where I'm going to stay for right now.
Now, what's obviously your prospects for Bellator and stuff like that? Is there a couple more fights you'd like to look into it, or what's kind of your game plan? Is it the UFC, or how would you like to do it?
When I first stepped into the gym and I spoke to Tony Basile and Trevor Whitman, I told them I was never planning to be a champion. I wanted to be the champion. And right now, if you're not in the UFC, you're not the champion. So that's what the goal is. And if I can get there in 3, 4, 5 fights, then I'm gonna go there in 3, 4, 5 fights. If it takes me 10, then it's gonna take me 10. Whatever. That's the ultimate goal.
Now, obviously, a lot of people that are outside of the state and maybe even outside of the country watching this interview, tell us about Brock Combs. How did you get into MMA? How did you get into jiu-jitsu from the very beginning?
You know, I played football in high school. After high school, I joined the Marine Corps. That's when I started learning about martial arts. They have a program called MCMAT, Marine Corps Martial Arts Program. Got into grappling, started falling in love with grappling. But even before then, my father was a professional boxer, so I grew up boxing. And then when I started mixing the two, and you know how Marines are. They see the UFC and the fights, they love that. So I fell in love with it right away. And when I got out, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna fight. Forget working a full-time job. I just want to fight full-time. So I just got in the gym 4 or 5 times a day, and it's been doing well so far.
Now, obviously, you mentioned about being in the Marines and MCMAT. What does that kind of prepare? Obviously, you know, with military, it's kind of a different game plan. You're there to kill, better than just getting a tap out or wait till the ref stops you. What does that kind of give you a game plan like with guys like Brian Stanton that have moved on from the military into MMA? What's that kind of influence you and helped you out in the long run?
Discipline for sure. Marine Corps was all about discipline, doing what you're told, doing it right the right way, doing it right the first time, and never backing off, never running away. So I get hit, I push forward. That's just my mentality. And going through some of the things I went through in the Marine Corps, stepping in the cage, it doesn't feel like anything. I'm completely relaxed and they're completely calm because there's nothing in there that I'm afraid of.
Yeah. Who's some of the teammates and also family members that have helped you along this journey?
My biggest support has been my girlfriend, who we're actually expecting our first son in March. She comes to every one of my fights. She's been my biggest support. She's allowed me to actually stop working just to do this full time because she believes in me that much. So definitely a lot of thanks to her. And my mom. She hated fighting. Hated fighting the whole time I was growing up. But when she started seeing that I was successful, now she loves coming and seeing me fight. She's actually going to come out from the East Coast to watch this
nice. One. Now, obviously, like you said, your mom's always worried about even seeing you fight and stuff. Obviously, it probably wasn't a good thing when you were going into the Marines. Was it the same way doing that?
It was the same exact thing. But she was in the Navy, so she understood. She understood. So she understood, but she still didn't want it.
Yeah, still didn't want you to have
turned out to be one of my biggest support right there.
Nice. Now let's give us a list of your sponsors and stuff.
I'd just like to thank Brawling Combat Gear. They've supported me from day one. They're always giving me the walkout shirts, helping everybody out, working over at their booth. I'll actually be at their booth after the fight, signing autographs. And 303 in Grudge Training Center. These guys took me in from day one, just saw that there was some type of potential in me, and they've been working with me and helped me out from day one. So I just want a big shout out to all of them, and of course you guys for hooking this all up today.
I appreciate it. So. Well, appreciate all the support and the love. Go check them out March 6th at the Paramount Theater in Denver, Colorado. You got a concert with Everlast in before it, so you guys just have to check it out. This guy could be the next big thing, you know, or bottom line, he's going to be stepping all the way into the UFC here soon. So appreciate all your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.